And we are live. Welcome to the Nice Guy Andy podcast with your host, Nice Guy Andy.
I can't hear you for some reason. Okay.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
No, I think all this stuff is like, no. I don't know what's going on. I couldn't hear you. Are your mic going?
I could hear him.
Yeah. You can hear him in the mic?
Hello? Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
That's right.
Cool.
Man,
What's up, everybody? It's Nice Guy Andy podcast. You know what we do? We watch wrestling. We talk to wrestlers, and we talk to wrestling promoters tonight. We have Brandon T. Wilson from Triple Crown Wrestling in the house tonight. And also we have Superfly Johnny Lee next to me and B Money. So what's up, Brandon?
Nothing much. How y'all?
We're good.
Doing very good.
Johnny was telling me you don't do podcasts.
No, I don't do podcasts. To be honest with you, I can't really stand podcasters for the most part. But I like Johnny so. I'm really liking his jacket.
Johnny's jacket is cool.
Yeah.
Johnny's jacket's cool.
Yeah.
So you don't like podcasters?
No, they waste a lot of time.
They waste a lot.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of them that have.
A lot of them. It just kind of gets annoying sometimes.
Especially when they don't want to stay on track with the topic.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, I've been there a couple of times. I ended up having to, I done one show one time, and I had to kind of take it over.
Yeah.
And that was very annoying because I'm supposed to be the guest, and next thing I know, they're going off on 15 different paths, and I had to keep reeling it back in because they wanted to keep talking about some of the national stuff, and I'm like, dude, what's going on here? You know?
Exactly. Yeah. What we whatever the conversation goes to, but like we usually here for the guests and I always tell the guests it's like a 2-hour commercial for you and your promotion or whatever you're doing, whatever you're up to. We want to know what you're up to because everybody already knows what we're up to.
Well, I love free promotion. So that's always good.
That's what it's all about.
Come around this way just a little bit. There you go. I think we're good there.
Good.
Yeah, justice a little bit more. We are guys. We are on Instagram too. If you guys want a different look of Brandon on the Instagram, and it's a more of a up close on the Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're not on TikTok tonight. We're not on TikTok tonight. We're on X, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Guys, if you guys want to go over to any of those and watch, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you get a chance.
And we will be on Spotify tomorrow.
Yeah. So TCW is on Facebook. I mean, not on
YouTube.
YouTube too. Let's go over there and subscribe to TCW. That's Brandon's promotion. How long you been the owner over there at TCW?
Well, we actually bought it out from another company back during the COVID era. Nobody's running the state of Kentucky, and if I'm remembering right, we was the first people that actually come back and hold the first show.
After COVID?
After COVID, yes. They was very skeptical about opening up the events again because of the spread of COVID.
Yep.
And they still wanted people to wear masks and 6 foot and this and that. But they finally started relaxing that, and they fully opened. And I'm almost certain that we was probably the first people that come back.
That's cool.
But I bought the promotion. I was out of wrestling for 16 years, and I know a bunch of my people, friends in the business. Like,
was you a wrestler?
A long time ago. But
really?
We'll leave that in the past because I don't want to bury a bunch of past promotions.
That's a pass.
But one of my friends, he'd come back, and of course, I do political management and things too, and he said, well, can you help us build this promotion? And I said, yeah, sure. So they paid me for about 8 months, and next thing I know, the promoter that owned that company, he said, won't you just buy this from me? And I said, I have no business getting back into the wrestling business.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing very well with politics. I do, work at a car dealership as a sales and operations manager. And next thing I know, I'm running it by my wife. She's not a wrestling fan, and she has a little different story about this than I do. But my story is, of course, always true. because I won't tell a lie for nothing.
No, not
yeah,
at all.
not at all. But I asked her. Well, I told that promoter, the owner, I was like, well, let's call my wife, and I thought that was going to be my out, and she said, I think it's a great idea. Now, she's probably listening right now.
Your wife said it was a great idea?
She said that, Andy. She said that. Now, she'll contradict that.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't say that at all.
Yeah, because I was looking,
Brandon's a liar.
Yeah, I was looking like to have an out, and I thought she was my out, and next thing I know, oh, it's a great idea, and here we are. So I renamed the company. I scrapped all of it, got rid of all the belts, and just a lot of the people too. I mean, there's some people, not just in that organization, but in the entire wrestling over the last couple of years that I've owned this. There's been some guys that didn't need to be in the business, and we've run them off.
Good.
And it is a good thing. We got rid of several of them, and it's wrestling's starting to turn around in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah, like you talk about like wrestlers or promoters too.
Wrestlers mostly. I try not to target promoters.
Yeah.
There's I like to really get into this too deep, but we do have a little bit of a situation in Kentucky with the amount of promoters that we do have, and we got some very good promoters out there, but we got some very bad ones too.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it seems like this area, Central Kentucky, has the biggest concentration of the promoters, good and bad. And so we're all the time competing with each other to a degree. And, some people might think that it's hurting. Some people might think it's helping. I'm on the other side of it. I think that we're giving people too much right now. And so I think we've restructured just a bit. We're going to run a few less shows next year, but more quality.
So you think there's a I don't know. We focus on just a handful of we focus on EWA, you guys, TCW, AMW, Appalachian, UCW of course, US what's
USWF, Jimmy's.
Really, do we even focus on hardly any more? A couple up in Indiana there across the river there. We focus on those guys. Grindhouse,
absolutely.
And those guys up there, they're Paradigm. They're doing good work up there. But we don't even pay attention to much of the other ones. I mean, is there other ones that we're not paying attention to?
I mean, there's some.
Is there any good ones that I just didn't mention that
Well, there's going to be a few coming about that's that I guess I don't need to step out on a limb and ruin their introduction.
Yeah.
But you're going to see some coming out in the western part of the state here and there.
Okay.
But I think you pretty much hit most of the great ones.
We want somebody in Lexington. Like I wish somebody would run shows up here regularly in Lexington, because I think that the fans are here. I just don't think that they have a place to go.
Yeah.
Like when New South was up here, and he was running in Lexington, he was doing great. Mm-hmm. Did you ever meet Tony Presley?
I didn't meet him personally. I think I was on a forum with him one time. Great guy.
Yeah.
He seemed all right.
Yeah. So you guys, and I'm not trying to tell any secrets, but you guys work together a lot. The promotions.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Was that already there?
No, not at all.
No. Did you start that, or?
Well, I'm not going to take full credit for it. A few of them was working peacefully with each other.
Yeah.
But it almost come out of accident, I guess.
Really?
I was out for 16 years, and I didn't think anybody'd even remember who the heck I even was. The next thing I know, me and Terry, we got reacquainted with each other.
Terry who?
Terry England.
Terry England. Is that?
Terry's a loser.
Terry's that guy that thinks that he's all that.
Terry's that guy that tries to get me to buy him a water at the shows all the time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that man is the real Dolly Long.
Terry, I don't know. I can't remember that guy for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, I ended up.
Love you, Terry. We're just messing with you.
Yes, we do.
Well, I hate you, Terry. But anyway, so come back and. I ended up getting linked back up with two of the biggest butthole promoters in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I could still scratch my head on how the heck I accomplished
that. I love those guys. I love
too.
When I show up to the mat and those two guys. Last time I showed up down in was it not Lawrenceburg, but was it Lancaster? I think they were down there during the fair. Those two were together, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be fun. So I went down there and just bullshitted with them forever, and they just had a great time with those two guys.
So I was back about I don't know, about maybe a year, and we end up Jimmy does the Russell County Fair. That's my home county. I live 2 miles from it.
Yeah.
And I do Lake Fest every year, which is in Jamestown, which is about 3 or 4 miles away from where I live. So he does the Russell County Fair, I do the Lake Fest. But me and Terry and Jimmy sitting there during the show, and me and Jimmy's always ribbing Terry on something.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there talking to Jimmy, and here comes Terry with this big plate of food. It was French fries. I don't know. It was a sausage. I don't know, probably a half of a cow or something. I don't know. But he sits down in between us, and he plops that big old plate of food up on Jimmy's belt.
Oh, no.
And I look over at Jimmy, I'm like, can you believe this guy? And Terry's over there, like Terry does. And Jimmy's over here just like, we just shake our head at him now.
Yeah, yeah.
We all time going on back at each other. I was like, Jimmy, it's your turn to babysit this guy today. And but no, Terry's a hard worker. I can't really. This is all in fun. We do it just as a rib with Terry. I love the guy.
That Caverna show is huge. Isn't
it?
Lord, yeah, it is.
I try not to get in copyright infringements and stuff, but I'm going to have to say it just like this. Caverna is the WrestleMania of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just y'all's there last year.
Oh yeah, we've been there the last two.
Yeah, the energy
last
behind
2 years
it.
in a row we've been in there.
Yeah,
and we need to make it 3.
Yeah, the energy behind it. I mean, we had Scott Steiner there doing the autographs, and Terry's fussed at me. He's like, I really needed you out there helping me, but you. But yeah, I had to make sure to do the return on my investment.
Yeah.
So. But the show still works so well. All of us working together, me, Terry, Jimmy, Kyle.
And somebody you're not talking about is the Phenomenal Fine guy.
Oh, Lord, to help that guy.
That guy is always at y'all's shows. Eric, he seems to be just helping you. Him and his beautiful wife are just helping you guys all the time. Like where'd you run into that guy? He just run into you.
I hate telling this story, but I'm going to tell it.
Okay.
And I love them too. Carla, if you're watching, I want some tamales.
Yeah.
I love them. This lady.
She cook good?
Oh, my God.
I bet.
Oh, my gosh, she's so great. I love Eric too. Eric is a huge help, as is all my ring crew. I've got the best ring crew in the state, hands down, bar none. I know they're good ring crew because Jimmy Walls and Terry England wants to steal them all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
have the same problem with Johnny. Everybody wants to steal Johnny.
That's true. So I met Eric and Carla. This is before, like, I've had 2 different regimes kind of running Triple Crown Wrestling because I just tell you a secret, I bought it for somebody else to run.
Yeah.
And we end up changing up some stuff, and then I get another guy in and to run it. And Jeremy Brake, y'all remember Jeremy. Jeremy'd been around for a long time, but Jeremy was running it, and he was doing his farewell show. He retired, so I let him book that last show. Then I took over, and I didn't bring anybody else in.
Yeah.
Did you share?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jeremy is doing his last show, and Chuck Pointer, Terry's buddy. He's a fixture in professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, great guy.
Chuck is the best of the best of the best. I love that guy. But he comes back here. He's like, listen. I got these guys out in the crowd. They're wanting to talk to you about sponsorship. Well, Eric used to be part of the Georgia Athletic Commission, MMA, and all that. That's who I was telling you about just a minute ago. He's actually licensed here in the state of Kentucky to be an MMA ref also.
Really?
Y'all need to get that guy on the show.
Yeah.
But so Chuck tells me, hey, you need to come and talk to these guys. So I'm out there. So we ended up doing this crazy battle royale the first match. Still letting Jeremy book this, okay? But we ended up having this. I'm not going to mention him and embarrass him, but we had this one wrestler that he was in the match as a masked character, and he got thrown out.
Yeah.
the very next match, he's coming out as a manager, but guess what? He was wearing the same daggone pants he had on as the masked character.
Oh, no.
I'm out there in the middle of the crowd, and I'm sitting here trying to maneuver myself where they can't see this train wreck happening. And because these guys are about to pay me some money to sponsor my show.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
sitting here like, I don't need to let them see this mess. So I'm trying to get in between them and this manager. Because he had on these same pants as the last guy, and I was like, oh my God, this is a train wreck.
Yep.
This is a train wreck. And this is the same night also that Joe, the first time I met Joe Monroe, I love you, Joe, but I'm going to have to tell this story. Joe, the first night I met him, he walks up to me and he says, I'm Joe Monroe. I was like, well, it's nice to meet you, Joe. Well, actually, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I'd already heard what was going to happen. He said, and by the way, I'm wrestling this guy named Gummy Bear, which he's out of the business now, too. And I love Gummy, too, but I'm glad that he's gone. But he said, I'm wrestling Gummy Bear tonight, and he's going to do, we're going to do a bunch of stuff. And I was like, well, I hope that you beat him, you know. But he said Gummy is telling me if he gets a chance, he's going to do a moonsault off the top rope. And I'm like, if he gets a chance, if I have to come out there and revive you and wake you up to get you out of the way, I'm going to do that. But I said, you're an idiot for even taking this match at this point. And sure enough, Gummy got the chance. Joe had enough sense, and this is where I put Joe over just a bit here. Yep. Joe had enough sense to move out of the way. Barely missed him, and I went back and looked at the video. Actually, I'm looking through the curtain.
So Gummy Bear did do the moonsault?
Oh, he kind of done it.
Yeah.
And so he comes off that top rope, and I'm looking through the curtain. I thought he broke his neck. So he landed on his face.
Oh,
wow.
And
okay.
So I ended up going to edit in the video, which I haven't ever released. It's just for my own evil comedy of myself.
Give us that. We'll post it.
But
please give us that. We will definitely post that.
But I ended up editing and putting the $6 million man as he's coming off the top rope. And
please give us that.
Oh my God.
Are we on?
Joe should have give it to him. If
Bobby Blade said we're not on.
Not a Nice Guy Any page.
Okay, we're on Nice Guy Nation.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Joe will type in and say that he's okay with giving it to y'all, I will do it. How's that?
All right, good.
But I don't even know if he's watching. If he's not, he's a loser.
He'll want it himself.
That's right.
I'm not giving it to him.
I got a Joe Monroe story too.
Mm-hmm.
We was down at Caverna last year, and I went in the back to, because we got invited to the show. Me and Johnny got invited to the show. And we're there, and I walk in, and Joe's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm here to take clips, like we always do." "Oh, you're here to do what I do?" And I'm like, Joe, you do what we do, okay? You try to do what we do. Anyway, he said something. He's like, he comes over to me real quiet. He says, "Did you pay to get in?" And I was like, "No, I didn't pay to get in, Joe." I said, "I was invited by Terry," and he's like, "They made me pay to get in."
Oh, he's full of crap. He's full of crap.
That's what he told me.
Oh, he's full of it.
Did you pay to get in? I'm like, no.
Well, let me rewind that. Knowing Terry England,
Terry
he probably made him pay to get in. Sorry, Joe.
And Terry England is a man of great money grabbing.
Every time I'm at one of the shows with Terry, Terry's like, he'll go, "Man, I'm so thirsty. Will you buy me a water?" I'm like, where's the water? They're over there selling my waters. Would you go over and buy one of my waters for me? Like, he wants me to buy one of his water, his for him. So I said, "I'll buy your water for you."
So whenever I started running and Terry is coming around, it was so funny because I'd always put water back there for the boys.
Yeah.
And he'd all the time saying, "What are you doing that for?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Because these guys have to stay hydrated, man."
Yeah,
and I was like, "And I might want to water, you might want to water." He was like, "Oh, that's bull crap." He was like, "Stop paying." I was like, "Terry, it's like," at the time, it's like $3 for 40 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And
now $6.
Yeah, so what, 40 waters for $6?
Yeah.
And everybody said, "We got water at the show now." Like, Terry didn't give him water.
He gets his little bottles now. The last time I was there, he's like, we got these little bitty bottles now. Only 2 apiece, guys.
Yeah, that was the last time when we were inside the locker room. He's like, now, some of y'all may be able to get 2 of them, but that's about it. And that's just this little bit of water like that.
He called me one day and was like that. He was like, he loves Johnny, just like everybody loves Johnny. He's like, I want to get Johnny in the ring, Yeah. And I was like, all right. I said, you got an opponent for him? He's like, no. I said, I'll be his opponent. Mm-hmm. We was just joking, and then he started promoting the damn thing, and I was like, oh my God! I was like, Johnny, apparently we're having a, and I think he was kidding with me when he did it. I was kidding with him, he was kidding with me, and then he called and he texted me and said, we have a date for y'all's, because he was still joking with me. And I took him serious, and I told Johnny, and me and Johnny started going. We started promoting it, because when are we going to get a chance to get in the ring with each other?
We had a hell of a build up for that too.
We started building for it, and then you got involved with it, and then it just blew up. And we do appreciate you guys letting us do that.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you for a moment, and I'm going to give you a little props here. And this isn't burying the guys. I love everybody, but if they'd get out, and I plead with them, if they get out and do social media and promote themselves, that is one of the biggest keys to getting professional wrestling over in Kentucky again. We need the help of me and Terry and Jimmy, Kyle, whoever.
We try to tell everybody to do that, to do your own promotion. Hell, even if you want to, send it to us, and we'll post it for you. Yeah. Like, we'd love to have the content, and we'd love to build a page like this Nice Guy Nation page that we're on today. We went live on it last week, and we got such a big followings that we went live on it again this week. But we'd love to build that page, and I'd love to even just let everybody just send us stuff, and we'll post it on there, and that could be the place that everybody can post their stuff, and all work together. Like, I'd love to work together with all the podcasts in Lexington and Kentucky, and just to be like what you guys are doing, like everybody. But it seems like the podcasting crew is like so they don't want to work with us, and we don't. Yeah. It's just,
but also, at this point, the wrestlers could get over if they do what we were doing with the social media. Like, you want to build it up and build yourself, do more videos, do more big names, do more build up. Like,
if these guys want to do their own storylines and they want to write their own scripts, then just do what you do on on social media. Take Icon Lee, our champion right now. He is a juggernaut in the Instagram and stuff. He just posts his own stuff. He takes pictures of his own matches. He gets people to, and he just posts and posts and posts. If you want to get somewhere in this, now he's wrestling for OVW.
Sure.
If you want to get anywhere in this business, and he came in with us, we took him in, and he became our champion. We embraced him, and we let him just do what I made him administrator on the page. He just posts whenever he wants to post.
Yeah.
I would have a page like that everybody could post to if they wanted to, and us all get together and post to the same page. It would blow up. Sure. I think it would blow up.
Well, the networking situation, that's why I have to make it clear to my guys. I'm not trying to bury them or anything, but the networking is very important. It doesn't matter what what business that you're in. If you're trying to sell somebody a wrestling show, a car, a political candidate, that's the three businesses. It's all the same thing. You just change out the character. You're trying to sell somebody on why should they vote for you, buy from you, or come see you. Yeah. It's the same thing, same method, same everything. And if you don't use social media to its fullest extent, you're cutting yourself short.
It's like having your own TV channel.
It sure is.
Like it's like having your own TV channel, your own newspaper.
It sure is, yeah.
Your own little magazine, your own little portfolio. Like it's all those things together, and you can build your own brand. Definitely build. Look at us for, I just decided, hey, I want to do a podcast, and I wanted everybody to know about it, so I just kind of like made my own logo and went on it, and then these guys, I did it for like a year by myself, and these guys came on, and then now we got B Money and Jane, and Sean's still with us, and Donnie Green and them come over, and Bear comes over, and we're just building this thing bigger and bigger, and hopefully it'll take off, and people
Yeah. You stole Jane from me. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah, she said that you didn't pay no attention to her. That's why she came to us.
I did too. She didn't she come to one show and we was sitting there talking, and next thing I know, I don't hear from her for
You
a
was
little bit.
probably busy. I think she kind of thought you snubbed her a little bit.
Well, I wish she was here. I love Jane.
Yeah,
Or
she lives in what is it, Russell County or something like Russell?
Yeah,
Russellville.
Russellville.
Yeah,
she
I
lives
live
in
in Russell
Russellville
County.
She lives in Russellville, and she does her own little show on
Yeah.
Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's doing Streamline now. I think she's going to start having guests on there.
Good.
So I think she's going to start having guests. We're going to probably start doing that a little bit ourselves too. Next year we're going to switch it up a little bit more. We're still going to do the in studio stuff, but we're going to have more individual one-on-one, like a StreamYard, like a Zoom kind of things, because I could get you on more often. I love having you in the studio, but we could get you on more often doing the Zoom thing and the StreamYard stuff. We can get bigger wrestlers, and I can get, I like comedians. I can get more comedians and stuff on. So we're going to switch it up at that point,
Have a little bit of variety. There's nothing there, but, always stay true to your core product.
Yeah.
Unless you're just totally changing the format of something.
No, we're going to I don't want to change things. I just want to add on, add on, like keep everybody interested.
Yep.
Like Johnny, Johnny hosts a show a lot. B Money hosts his own show. Trying to get my son to come and host his own show, but he works night shift. And I have Donnie Green come in and host.
Shout out Leon if you're watching.
Show sometimes, and I try to get Sean Johns to host show every once in a while. He's busy too, and we're all busy. And this thing works as like a clock. We just kind of like, if one person can't show up, the other person does.
Yeah, and that's a good formula to have. And with Triple Crown Wrestling, I'm very fortunate that I've got several guys.
You got somebody that's like that. If you can't show up, they can run it.
Well, up until 3-4 months ago, basically they was setting up the entire show. I'd come in about an hour and a half before it began because I had my regular job that I have to do.
Yeah,
and they'd have it always set up. Now, it took quite a bit of patience and several different people that didn't work out.
Yeah,
and to get to the point where we're at now. But I've always had one constant guy, and I'm going to, even though I think he's fighting on the wrong side most of the time, and from me, and that's Chris Matthews. He's always there to make sure things get going, and Terry, even though he runs Ultimate Championship Wrestling, he's always there to help out where needed. Jimmy comes down. Kyle come down some. Adrian had come down before, he started, doing Berea and stuff. And, it's a long haul, man. It is. So,
Yeah, I'd love to. If, like, me and you talked before on the phone, and I say, if you guys were up here with us, it would be totally different. We'd be like, you guys would be promoting you guys more, but we don't get a chance to get down there with you guys as much as we want to. I'd love to come to every show that you have. I'd love to go to every UCW show, but we all have day jobs and stuff. And I hate that I have a day job. I will be retiring in a few years, so maybe I can just do this full time. Hopefully.
Hey, hopefully, I hope for you because doing something you really like. There's been several times that I shake my head and I'm like, why am I doing this?
Exactly. Yeah, I do this podcast. I do it sometimes. Most of the time it pays for itself because we're monetized through Facebook. But sometimes I have to pay some of the bills around here, and I'm like, oh my God. And then, like, I'm married, so my wife actually hates the podcast, and she hates all of us, and she hasn't met B Money, but she probably like him, but she hates the podcast.
Johnny, how can
she hates
hate Johnny? Oh my God!
I don't know. Like
I know, right?
She just hates it. It's like I guess it takes too much time or whatever. But
How does it take too much time though? We go live for maybe 2 hours a week.
Know.
And then,
I don't know. I don't know. We can't get into all the craziness of life, but
Women.
yeah, women. Yeah,
Terry's trying to figure out how to get on to watch. He's texting me, so he said, "Johnny, you need to make sure to put that on Facebook, not Facebook Nation." So that's out of my wheelhouse. So
it's because this guy got to put on Nice Guy Andy. Like
I thought you was the producer of this show. I thought you.
You were the producer. You got the inside the front seat.
Maybe
right
we
there.
should end it and then change it.
No, that's fine. I'll send him the link now.
We can go live on the other page.
I got the link. I can send it to him.
yeah.
We're probably gonna not get a lot of people watching, but
Yeah,
we
but
a
they
lot.
got everybody has to. You got to think everybody got to join too.
Yeah, and I ain't trying to step on your
Because-
toes, but I did share Nice Guy Andy podcast because that's what I
Yeah.
thought we was going to be on. I apologize.
Yeah,
Well, I
I
didn't
thought they
know.
would have
We
too.
went live on it last time, but let's just switch over.